I honestly,
Thinking about buying.
Yeah, no, it's fine. Go ahead, Ted. Don't interrupt us.
yeah, no, I honestly,
If we're in the way, just do your thing.
this is the thing that gets me. We're about to start a show, and he's doing what he does when he's drunk at the bar.
Has it started?
And he just puts his phone in his lap and just stares at it. And like we're not about to start something important. He's just doing his thing, and then you have to remind him, "Hey Ted, we got a show," and he'll do one of these. Oh, fine, like you're inconveniencing him. I don't understand it.
Or you lie. I was just looking at some stocks.
Yeah,
You're thinking about buying stocks right now at this second.
Actually ETFs and CEFs, Mark, but close enough. So,
is that what you call porn?
Yeah,
you call your porn ETFs.
yes. So what I wanted to mention before, I don't know, some random woman who's obviously not a celebrity. Supposedly she just took over like the number one. She's like the number one podcaster. I'm assuming for amateurs other than like Joe Rogan. It just I don't know what her subject material is. I guess I should have researched it better, but it was just some.
So you have a story you don't know anything about.
It was a random woman.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to TED Talks.
Yeah.
These would actually be better TED Talks. Okay? Instead of having a famous person stand up on stage and say something important, you just have Ted. You walk up, and it's something that he kind of knows about, and he just rambles on for about a half hour.
In a Gilbert Godfrey voice.
He got canceled from that Affleck commercial, right? Because what did he do when he got canceled? Remember, he was the voice of the Affleck duck for a long time. Then he did something.
I'm assuming it involved sex in public or touching someone.
Yeah.
I don't know if I told this on a show before, but he tells a story. I mean, he's dead, so rest in peace.
Yeah.
What, Gilbert Godfrey's dead?
Long time ago.
He's been dead. You know who's still alive? I just drove past Rivers Casino on the expressway today. Dionne Warwick is playing at Christmas time. I'm like, wasn't she like around in the 70s? Like Dionne Warwick, that's what Friends
I was around
are for.
in the Ted.
Yeah,
Ted, I was around in the 60s,
yeah, but she was,
and I'm still alive.
Yeah, but she was like 70 back in the 70s, and now she's like 180. So,
She was 70 in the 70s.
That's all I'm saying. She was elderly back in the 70s.
Hold on. Let me look it up. 138 years old. Yep.
Okay.
So, 138 years old. Go ahead, Mark. I'm sorry, Ted.
I forgot. Never mind.
What? No, what?
No, we're good.
Why are you? I hate it when you do that.
I hate it when this happens.
Just
Gilbert Godfrey. Gilbert Godfrey. He's dead, and then you were about to say something.
He's gone.
Yeah, somewhat important.
That's what you wanted to remind us of?
It.
I thought he had a fun story.
No.
Come on, it'll be a fun story, and then Ted can interrupt and talk about.
I forgot what I was going to say.
I just remembered for you.
All right, you know what? I am not going to argue. I'm not going to fight with you about this. I'm going to get the show started early today. This is the Real Three Idiots podcast, and happy National Dewey Decimal System Day. The thing that makes understanding the library impossible. When were you guys last in the library?
Like an actual physical library?
No, Ted. Like the library in your mind.
Well, my understanding of libraries in the 21st century, like in the 2024, that's only where people go to the public computer to write ransom notes, right? Because you don't want to use your own phone or computer, right? So what else would you use the library for, right? Because you can get everything without going to the library. So unless you're doing something illicit, you wouldn't go to the library. So does that make sense?
Can't argue with that.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, no, I
talking
can't
some
argue with
Unabomber shit right there.
Mark, last time you were in a library.
I was there to drop off our mail-in ballots. There's a ballot box in there.
And you physically went into the library.
You have to go in. It was inside.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, I figured. Okay, that's cool. Yeah, you know what? I used.
I've actually been in a Borders bookstore probably 10 times this year.
There's still
They still have those?
No, there's still a Barnes and Noble. Does Borders still exist?
Or Barnes and Noble.
Barnes and Noble, yeah. So there's one at on McCormick and
that's
Toohey.
the one I go to.
Yeah. It's pretty cool.
Holy
it's nice to go to.
shit!
I love
an
it in
actual
there.
bookstore with books.
Yeah, there's a Starbucks in there.
You don't know that's there. You don't.
No, I did not. I don't know that it's
It's
there.
a massive corner building. It anchors that whole mall.
What mall?
No, remember the Tilted
Village-
Kilt, that Village Square?
Village Crossings.
Yeah, I
Village
don't really
Crossings.
go to. I mean, I don't.
Well, you go to Chuck E. Cheese all the time, and it's right next door.
The Chuck E. Cheese.
It's right next door to Chuck E. Cheese.
Chuck E. Cheese and Gilbert Godfrey both died the same day. Just so you
Chucky
know.
the Rat.
I don't think there's.
Called Chucky
there's
the
no
Rat.
more Chuck E. Cheeses, are there?
Is it still
It's
there?
right next to
It's still
Barnes
there.
and Noble. Yeah.
You're bullshitting me right now.
No, I think it's still there. I know Barnes and Noble is still there because I was in that complex.
You don't know. It's in your town, like 2 miles from your house.
Yeah, but I don't really go to the
The
store
Panda
anymore.
Express there.
Panda Express. Yeah, there we go.
There's a corner bakery there.
You know how many times I've been to Panda Express?
Oh, Chipotle.
Oh.
Chipotle's around the corner.
It's on the other
Yeah.
side.
The only time I've ever been to Panda Express is in an airport. I didn't even know they had standalone stores. I did
they
not
do.
know that was a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just thought it was like airport. What's the pizza place that's at all the airports?
Sbarro's?
Sbarro's.
Yeah.
Do they have actual places, or is it just the airport?
I don't know.
No, Sbarro's.
They have them in the malls.
Sbarro's in Harlem Irving Plaza. I was just there the other day. I didn't eat there, but yeah. So there's.
You went into a physical mall?
Yeah. So they have Sbarro's and they have a Panda Express there.
Is
in
it
the food court.
scary?
In the food court.
Are there ghosts or are there people?
There's just a lot of people eating a lot of food continually.
Wow.
Yeah.
I can't remember the last time I was in a physical store. I
They have a
think it was a Dick's to
They have
to
a
look at golf
McDonald's
stuff.
there at the hip in the courtyard there in the food court. And
It's still there.
I know. I just said it. There's a McDonald's there,
Right.
and they have it's like communal tables set up because it's a food court.
Yeah.
So there's one table by McDonald's that is always commandeered by a huge group of old guys.
Oh yeah.
But it's nonstop. They filter in because I've been there in the morning. It's filled with old men. I've been there, and they're all like Eastern European. Well, actually, no, they're all makes and models. It's hilarious, dude.
Yeah,
It's
that's
great.
where they go and talk about things that what they don't like. Yeah. How
The
it's always
the government.
too hot.
Their long dead wives.
It's too cold. Kids these days, back in the day, there's phrases that you hear started.
Yeah.
Like every sentence starts, "Those damn kids,"
But yet-
or when I was young.
But yet somehow they have this magic gift where they're able to order a small coffee and make it last for 5.5 hours.
Do they still
Well,
get free refills?
I think for senior citizens they do. But what's great about the McDonald's is you could still go up to the counter and order because it's in the food court at the hip, and there's a door that leads like out the back to the neighborhood, right? So I think all
Yeah.
through these old guys they're
you
always
just walk-
coming in through
yeah,
the
you just
back
walk
door.
right in, yeah.
And there's 2 lottery machines right there,
Right there.
right next to their table. I swear to
No,
God,
it's like a
half
little-
of them are sitting there scratching off.
It's like a little newsstand. It's like a little. It's like a little store, but it's a newsstand, and they sell lottery tickets and scratch offs and stuff. Yeah. So I was I was just there yesterday. I went to Charlie's Steakhouse, the Philly cheesesteaks.
You're finishing everything I start.
No, I just was.
Everything
no,
I
it's
start.
coincidence.
I know, but I was saying what you.
I'm agreeing
said.
with you.
No,
you're not.
Ted,
You're-
here's. I think this is Mark's. This is Mark's biggest issue, is that he starts to tell a story, and unlike me, he won't stop you when you interrupt him. He won't stop you.
No, I wasn't interrupting. I was just augmenting what he's saying. I was agreeing with him.
You were,
Like I said, I was literally just there
Okay,
yesterday.
let him finish.
let's replace. I said there's like a lottery scratch off.
Oh, and all the guys are.
Yeah, I mean, and then you're like, oh yeah, you're right. Let me tell it.
No, you told it already. No, because I was just there like literally 2 days ago. That's why I'm jumping in.
What does that have to do with anything?
Because I was just literally there.
I get it.
So
You're excited that you were at the hip 2
So
days
any
ago.
story you have, Ted trumps it if he's there. If he was there. So if you say you went to Best Buy, if you tell a story
No,
about Best
no,
Buy,
no, he's not
If Ted
trumping
was in,
He's not doing.
I'm
that.
not a one-upper. I'm not a
You're not.
one-upper.
Well,
No,
you
but
are
if he
a
was in,
one-upper, but
if
you're
he was
not
in
one
Best
upping.
Buy, he automatically gets to talk about it. He just to stop you and talk about it. All right. Speaking of McDonald's, this is kind of funny. They caught the guy they allegedly think killed. That's
No,
United
they came out and
Healthcare.
charged him.
Okay, well,
Yeah,
okay.
United Healthcare
Well,
CEO guy. Yeah.
We don't. I mean, they're saying it's the guy. I'm just saying allegedly, so we don't get sued.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
He got busted in a McDonald's in Altoona, Pennsylvania. The one of the employees called.
Right.
Okay. Since that time, for like the next 3 days, that McDonald's was inundated with negative 1-star reviews about how crappy they were because people were mad that employee turned him in, and the McDonald's.
What?
Yeah. So they got thousands, tens
So
of
it's
thousands.
okay to walk up behind somebody and shoot them.
But no, here's the weird part. Tens of thousands of negative reviews for that one particular McDonald's. Nothing to do with the food or the service
I
or
get it,
anything.
yeah.
Just because the employee called.
Well, the context behind it is like this guy's viewed as a kind of modern day Robin Hood because the guy he shot was worth $43 million and he was the CEO of United Healthcare. So basically, he's symbolic of the endemic greed of the healthcare providers for denying people coverage. So basically, the argument is the health insurance companies have indirectly killed a lot more people by denying them, life-saving medicine, cutting off their benefits, cutting off their chemotherapy treatment. I think Blue Cross Blue Shield, don't quote me on this, they basically said if you have a surgery, they're not going to pay for the whole anesthesiology through the entire surgery, only part of it. And then obviously they got so much negative feedback from that, they reneged on that. But obviously, it's profits over the well-being of people. So that's what he represents, and that's why that McDonald's got such a negative. It's kind of like if I was hiding a Jewish person and then somebody turned them into the Nazis. No, I'm serious. Like during World War II, that's basically what it's like.
Where this is going?
No, but that's what it's like. That's so basically. So basically, like he's
nothing like
wait,
that.
and
no,
then
it is like that.
Hold on.
It is
hold
like
on.
that.
So if you were hiding a Jewish person during the war,
during World War II,
in a hotel, say you were hiding, and then that hotel got negative reviews. Because you were hiding a Jewish person?
Because I was hiding a Jewish person against the Nazis, and then the hotel employee ratted me out, and caught the Jewish person, took him to the concentration camp. I'm not saying it's the exact equivalent, but basically that's the equivalent of why that McDonald's is getting such negative feedback. Because to the people, he's kind of a hero. He's obviously misguided, but that's how they're viewing him.
Until he goes.
Is this the weird way of him of not saying Hitler of saying Hitler without saying Hitler?
No, he's not saying that at all. I understand what you're saying. Like the person that
turn him in
is a bad human being, and you're saying that the person at McDonald's that there's a guy with a gun on the loose, but we should just.
I'm not saying that.
I'm not you, but there's people out there that are that are.
They're sympathetic toward that guy.
Go kill everybody else. Go kill the guy from this guy. Go kill Blue Cross Blue Shield. Go.
Well, on a side note, I guess a lot of the health insurance companies took down their quote unquote leadership pages with the names and faces of their CEOs after that incident. Just FYI, not just United Healthcare. And I guess the United Healthcare CEO, whoever the other one is, got on line, and I guess like he something leaked where he was like basically whining about the denial rates, because I guess United Healthcare does have the highest denial rates of any healthcare provider. I think it's like 37% compared to all the big providers.
Been up, so from 2020 to now, it's gone up 37%. Yeah. So that means one third higher. All the denials. It was already pretty high. It's gone up 37%.
Yeah, so they have the highest denial. And this guy, I'm not saying he deserved to be murdered. What I'm saying is that this guy was worth $43 million. And I think within the last year, he's getting a lot of stock options. So, he's going to this conference in New York where I believe it was. So this guy, obviously, whatever crazy thoughts is, obviously he went about it the wrong way, because what happened is, okay, you kill this guy, it's like a cockroach. Another one's just going to take his place. So the guy who was waiting in line to be the next CEO is just going to get promoted. This guy's life is over. He's going to spend the rest of his life in prison. Obviously he's a young guy. I guess he went to Maryland Prep School, was valedictorian there, went to Ivy League college, has like a master's degree, real intelligent guy. Obviously whatever Kool-Aid he drank, where he went above and beyond.
Well, now you're talking about the
shooter. The shooter.
Okay, yeah. But at some point, don't you just get? I mean, isn't it? Don't things change because people? And I'm not saying go out and murder CEOs. That's ridiculous.
Or anybody.
But what I'm saying is, don't things have to become so bad that that it has to take on? People have to feel like they have to take on this responsibility and do it. Make those changes, because I mean, okay, let's just say that he doesn't do that. And none of this stuff is in the news now, right? And we don't know that their denial rate is up 37% in the last 4 years.
No, they actually showed a stat.
Right, but we don't see that. We if he doesn't do this, then we don't know that, right?
Correct.
We don't know all of those things.
Right, the public does.
So
the general public.
You know what? I mean, and I'm not saying what he did was right, but what I am saying is that CEO had a chance to do the right thing. He could have changed everything. He could have been the guy.
He answers to a board of directors.
Okay, but he could put it out there. He could have been the catalyst.
Did he?
To do the right thing?
Did he?
Apparently not. No, I don't think he did. I don't think he did.
We don't know that.
Well, I think based on the limited stuff I read, that not only did he not do it, but I think he exacerbated the situation. Like I said, don't quote me on that, but like I said, he was definitely status quo. He wasn't definitely there to be the change agent and say, hey, you know what? We need to change up everything. I'm going to cut my pay. I'm not going to take any stock options. I want more coverage for our clients, our patients.
Right.
I'm pretty sure he didn't do that.
But I mean, But
I'm not defending this guy. I'm just playing devil's advocate.
Yeah, neither.
I understand completely. Yeah, so. But I mean, at some point, like, how do we change things? How do we make things better?
But you're right. This could be a catalyst indirectly for some change in the industry, because look at the French Revolution. You had the ruling class, and then you had the extremely poor people, and until they took out the guillotine and started beheading the ruling class in the streets, during the French Revolution, where blood would literally run into the streets and they were beheading thousands of people, things didn't change. right? So I'm not advocating that, but sometimes you
No,
got to go.
I understand. Like how do we change
You're not
this?
advocating it,
I'm
though,
just saying.
but you're
no,
just
but
saying.
I'm just quoting history.
I'm
And
not
like I said-
saying, I'm just saying.
Yeah, well, just
like Mike North.
in America, there's a saying that says, from time to time, the tree of liberty needs to be watered with the blood of patriots and tyrants from time to time. You can draw your own conclusions what that means. So,
No, I
So,
can't.
there's a one of the reasons why this person came out and made the call was because the FBI had a $60,000 reward, and then New York put a $10,000 reward on any a reward for any leads, right, leading up to the arrest.
There's not a lot I wouldn't do for 70.
So this person is in line for 70,000, but it's not that easy. I was reading an article about it. So they can't just give them the 60,000 or 70,000. So this person has to be arrested, tried, and convicted. But before that all happens, somebody has to recognize this person and say, "Yeah, you're in line for the reward." But they have to try and convict, and he has to go to jail, and then they can issue the reward.
So there's going to be another shooting to justify getting that extra money because they put up a reward that's completely fake. That guy will probably the person who called in from that McDonald's will probably never get in 1,000 years.
It seems like that. It seems like
so.
Let's say that this guy was running down the street, and this man or woman tackled him, tied him up, and held him there, and then the police came and they arrested him, and then it should be pretty cut and dry. That's the guy that found him, or that's the girl that found him. He or she gets the reward. Doesn't seem like it's going to happen.
but
like
it's sort of interesting. I mean, they literally had the guy's his face. He obviously had a hoodie on, but they saw his face, so they knew where he stayed. They knew what hospital he stayed in New York. They knew where he came from by what mode of transportation he came by. They basically had his movements, because obviously New York is a very well surveilled town. So I think it was just a formality that they would have eventually caught him.
Well, they knew who it was right away.
And plus they didn't release it. And plus the gun he was using, I guess, is used for animals. It's like a bolt action gun that's actually used on farms for animals. It's not really an assassin's gun.
And the bullshit story I heard was it was a 3D printed gun, and they found it on him. So he was so fucking dumb. He was so fucking dumb that he kept the gun that he used.
Exactly.
He did have it on him, yeah. They arrested him with a gun. I mean, that's
so. This is a college valedictorian who's so stupid.
He knew he was going to get
but
caught.
why have the gun? I mean, why make it that much easier?
Well,
but hold on a second.
He wanted it. He had a letter on him. He had a confession letter on him.
Let's go back to the
Well, I
reward.
think he had a manifesto on him.
Nice. Love a good manifesto.
Which is the same.
But let's go back to the reward. If this guy kills himself in prison, let's just say somehow he kills himself in prison, doesn't get convicted. Does he not get the reward because he's not convicted?
But here's here again. I'm going to play. I'm just going to kind of assume here, Ted, that the way I saw this playing out was the police were slow playing this. They knew who it was like pretty right away, but they didn't want to put his name out there and put an APB because they didn't want him to go into deep hiding.
Right.
They wanted him to think that he could go wherever the fuck he wanted to go, and all they got is that little picture of him, and they did the right thing, and they eventually caught him.
Yeah,
but that's what they always do. That's like that guy from Idaho,
yeah,
right?
I was going to say, so that guy who basically had a master's degree in criminal justice, this fuckhead drops his driver's license at the fucking crime scene.
Ted, you could be a genius and make a mistake.
Yeah, well, that's a big one. So anyway, so long story short, they knew who it was right away, but like I said, I remember there was a lot of negative feedback.
So this kid's not. No, hold on. Because we got to get to your tip.
Yeah.
Long story short is this kid's never going to get that reward.
Well,
never.
What
the
they
person,
did.
I don't know if it's a kid.
Well, what they did was
this guy's never going to. No, Ted, we got to stop.
They created a de facto standard about getting the reward. I'll leave it at that.
Yeah. Okay. I got to do this. If you enjoy the episode, if you learned something today, and you probably won't, please consider following the show, subscribing to your favorite podcast platform, or leaving a 5-star review. This helps the podcast more than I can say. This allows us to reach more and more people, and it would mean the world to us here at the Real 3 Idiots podcast. Okay, we got to get, because we have a guest coming up, so we got to get to your tip. Let's see. Mark, you want to do poem first or sponsor first?
I thought you just did the sponsor.
No, that was like to.
That was
our
pitch.
call to action. That was us
cyber begging for more viewers.
Yeah, that was our cyber begging for more viewers. You want me to do the
listeners.
sponsor first?
Sure.
Okay, here we go. Ted's Tips is sponsored by PagersAreCoolAgain.com. Are you tired of always being connected, but want to know if something important might be happening in your small world? Try a pager. At Pagers Are Cool Again, we can make sure that people can get to you, but you have an excuse not to get back to them. At Pages Are Cool Again, we will help you go back to a time when you had deniability and ignorance and stop you from having to ask your grandkids what the hell a TikTok thing is. Excellent.
Excellent. I used to work for a beeper place.
Oh, yeah? I bought a beeper.
Becker's beeper. Beeper.
I got a beeper when Cheryl was pregnant. I got a beeper 3 days because I was afraid she was going to, I was not going to know. I got a beeper 3 days. 3 days later, bam, never even needed it.
They had beepers. They were still using a beeper less than 30 years ago.
Yeah, 20 is
pager,
Savannah's 27?
Pager, yeah.
27, 28?
Pager beeper.
27, 28.
You're using those terms synonymous.
28 years ago. Yep.
Yeah.
Nice.
Or maybe I got a cell phone. You know what? Maybe it was a cell phone.
I think it was a
No-
cell
It was probably,
Nokia
you know what?
flip phone?
Scratch that. It was probably a cell phone.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, I
What,
don't
they have
pay
flip
attention to that.
phones? Remember the QWERTY keyboard where you would slide it out? But that came out later. But wasn't it the flip phone initially? And then it was like the small Nokia phones. Those were like the original cell phones. It just had the analog. You couldn't,
Ted.
you can make a phone call on it.
Ted.
Yeah.
We have to get going here. I'm sorry. Thanks for the and that's the welcome to the history of cell phones. And now it's time for a poem. Thank you, Mark.
Ted tip. Don't give him no lip. Ted tries and he sometimes lies. For what it's worth, and it's not that much, but always special with that Teddy touch. It's now or never for Ted to deliver. Can he be? Will he be? Shall he be? Can you dig it? His tip. Will you dig his tip? Or will Matt edit this bit? Radio edit. You going to edit this?
But no, I don't know how. If I knew how to edit, I would edit most of what Ted says.
Sounds like
I'm not done yet, so you're going to have to edit.
sorry.
No, I'm kidding.
you know what it sounds like to me? You know what I think? I think you need a consultant to help you with that.
Yeah, no shit. And then I talked to one, and you immediately, when I said it was 8 G's to take care of it, you immediately screamed like it was $8 million. How much? We were talking to a guy about helping out the show and kind of taking it to the next level, and we told Teddy was going to.
What level might that be?
Take it to the limit.
See, there you go.
That's it.
Teddy, a level where we can make some serious money
a
off of
whole
this.
nother level. Gotcha.
Yeah, and I like it. We told Teddy, it was like, between $7,000 and $8,000, and it was like he went what? No, sleep with a man? No, I no way, no,
Not again.
not again. Yeah,
Yeah, let's just co-sign
College
that
is
loan and
over.
do that.
co-sign a loan. Yeah, okay, all right. Here we go, Ted. I gotta ask, are you ready for your tip?
I am.
Okay, here we go, Ted. I love.
Hang on. Do you know what's it about?
It's about a woman with man stalking troubles potentially.
Okay.
Okay. Ted, I love your tips. They're the best part of the show. So she's obviously got mental problems also. I live in a 9-unit apartment. I recently broke up with my boyfriend, and and let it slip as I was saying hi to one of the men that lives on my floor. Since then, and this is in parentheses, Doug, so I guess it's not his real name, has been coming by a lot, knocking on my door, asking me if I want to go to the market or see a movie. He's a very nice guy, but I'm not interested in him. I'm at a loss to find a way to tell him that that being with him would. I'm at a loss to tell him that I'm not interested with him without it being awkward. I have seen him almost every day, and our building is a great little community of friends. Any ideas how to say it nicely and still being friendly? He's been very persistent. Faking evictions, poisoning, and moving out are out of the question. Sarah, 42, Toledo, Ohio. And then she adds, shout out to the Toledo Rockets. That's the college, I believe.
Yeah,
Toledo
because
Rockets.
remember the Toledo Mud Hens? Weren't they like the
That's a
single-
minor league
baseball
team,
right?
Yeah, so Toledo Rockets are the local town college.
Cool. Toledo's a cool town. I actually went to their what do you call like a botanic? They have like a botanic gardens thing out there. What's that called? Like
A botanic garden.
yeah. I went to botanic gardens. Toledo. It was
Yeah,
good.
yeah. And you sure it wasn't just a place with some trees in Toledo?
Well, it was just that it has a lot of
Yeah,
them.
I know. I'm sure that guy that lured you in there told you it was a botanic garden, but I'm fairly confident it was just some trees
No, that
in
was-
a weird spot.
That
where
was
he
the guy
likes to
with
park his car.
the puppy. I'm thinking of the other guy. Right?
All right, Teddy, help out Sarah.
All right, Sarah. Hey, sorry you're going through that. So, here's a little. You probably already know this, as do a lot of women. See, when you pay attention to a guy, who's a stranger, even in a very ancillary way. Unfortunately, some guys are so starved for female attention that they misinterpret friendliness for romantic interest. And obviously that's not your fault, So I guess, your sin was, I guess you were just being friendly to a random person who now apparently can't think no for an answer. So
well, hold on. He's not a random person. He lives on her floor in her apartment.
Yeah, he's a random person in terms of someone in her life. He's just happens to be
he's an acquaintance.
Yeah, he's in the proximity of her, but she's not like she's not. It's not like her boyfriend, or he's just some dude who just lives there. Like just by happenstance.
Okay.
Yeah, that's all I mean.
But her sin is telling him that she broke up.
Well, in hindsight, you got to be friendly to people. I get it. I get it. You see your neighbor, you want to say hi. But 9 out of 10 times if a guy says hi to a woman,
you automatically wants to sleep with her.
Well, or she has to get a restraining order because she thinks he's going to ask her for her hand in marriage, right? So they misinterpret it too. It's just in a different way. So anyway, on a side note, so remember we talked about this last week. You can do this. You can hire a goon, and not listen, not a goon to beat him up, but a goon to pretend like kind of rent a boyfriend. So you're going to hire.
Why would don't pick a goon? We discussed that goons are too stupid to do something like
a goon, a guy who's just kind of intimidating, maybe a couple of tattoos, just someone who's a lot physically bigger than quote unquote Doug, just to pretend, little role play, just so Doug he's not going to be there all the time. All Doug has to see is this guy a couple of times here and there randomly, so he gets the impression that this woman has a boyfriend, and not only does she have a boyfriend, but this boyfriend is potentially jealous and potentially dangerous. And you could have a little backstory like, oh, did you know my boyfriend just got out of prison for a 2-year stint for assaulting a police officer?
Okay,
something like, just something to plant some seeds. Just to plant some seeds that, hey, you know what, Doug, maybe Doug is sniffing up the wrong tree. Maybe Doug needs to move on.
How does this potential goon not also think then that they're dating?
She's screwed. She's screwed.
But you start adding guys.
If
you start adding guys.
Okay,
this is business.
Maybe we want to go.
He's for hire.
Maybe we want to go out with Sarah too, because we're talking about her, right? So why don't we just go to Toledo and go to Sarah's 9-unit apartment building or rent a room next to her, since we're in love with Sarah too, right? Let's take it the next step.
I'm saying if the neighbor, by giving him any attention, okay, but
this is a professional.
So you're saying hire a fake boyfriend?
A fake, yeah. I think there's like services, or maybe she has a friend or a friend. Just
wait
something.
a minute. You're saying that you
I
believe
think there are some services
that
that
somewhere out there there is a service,
not prostitution,
to hire
not hire a gigolo,
fake boyfriend.
Yeah.
You know what she should do?
There actually is a service.
I know, Ty. I love this. I think you should just end it. Just stop. He's going to convince you to change your mind and go a different route. You said what you said.
Yeah.
And I think it's a great tip.
I got a backup plan too.
Okay, go ahead. Backup plan us.
Backup tip. This obviously takes a little more work on Sarah's part, but she can, display herself to this Doug guy with poor hygiene to make it seem like she's undesirable, or maybe she has
scummy. I like that. Go scummy.
Or just
flatulence.
Yeah, just eat a lot of onions and garlic. Maybe say, hey, I just have to refill my schizophrenia medication at the pharmacy. Just something where, you're planting some seeds. Like
that's going to ruin her rep.
She's not.
If she's part of a community,
he's going to tell everybody around. Hey,
I guess. Yeah. So, but you could do.
The hire for goon is it. Stick with it.
Yeah, no, but there is a service, because I remember reading something on Reddit where like a woman would hire herself out, and depending on what she had to do, like she would go to like just say there was a single guy at a wedding, and she would basically go as his girlfriend to the wedding, and like for $200 she'd stay for this amount of time, for $500 she'd stay on this amount of time, for
it's called a hooker.
No, there's no sex. No, there's no sex. There's no sex. And then for the deluxe package, she'd stay the whole night and take pictures with the family. So.
Pictures is extra.
So here's what I did. I actually looked this up as soon as Ted said it, because I wanted to just prove to him that what a ridiculous thing that he just said. There are at least 7 rent a fake boyfriend for the holiday, boyfriend for hire. Do you? Oh man, I can't. Yeah, this is actually a thing.
I think it's a big thing in the gay community. If you don't want to come out to your family or friends at events,
you hire a boyfriend.
Yeah,
that would make. Dude, if Ted walks in with a guy, they're going to know it. What are you talking? Oh, you hire a girlfriend.
You go either way, man.
Like a girl that would get a boyfriend so her family wouldn't know she's gay.
Well, so let's say there's a single guy and he's heterosexual, but like his parents are on his back, like, hey, how come you don't have a girlfriend? So he gets invited to like Christmas dinner. He rents the girlfriend. Not because, just to get the parents off his back. So they think he has a girlfriend. That's on the simplest scale.
And if the goon thing doesn't work?
Yeah. No, he's not a goon. He just looks like a goon because he has to be
you said hire a goon.
No, hire a boyfriend who looks like a goon.
But you could also a goon.
I
had a
misspoke.
goon option.
I misspoke.
No, I like the goon. Okay. Hire the goon. If the goon thing doesn't work out,
It's never going to work out.
you could hire you could just say, listen, I'm dating so and so, like a celebrity who's on Cameo, who does the Cameo things.
Like P. Diddy.
Like say,
He's unavailable right now.
no, whoever's on the Cameo, like Steven
the
Seagal,
Melendez?
like
One of the Melendez
or
brothers?
somebody that's on Cameo. Say, listen,
Jesus Christ.
did you see who I'm dating? And then she can play the video for him, and then
Or option 3, she can pretend that she's in love with serial killers. Like, you know how some women like have
Yeah, the
love letters to
Melendez
serial killers. Yeah, like John Wayne Gacy and Ted Bundy. They got married in prison. They had like a bunch of groupies. Richard Ramirez, the Night Stalker, just say, hey, you know what? I'm in a hardcore emotional relationship with
Hardcore,
the Green River Killer.
emotional.
The Green River Killer. You know, we're going back and forth. Yeah, I'm going to Washington D.C. and I'm gonna ask for his hand in
and
marriage.
he's gonna go.
at
Aren't
the
these people all dead?
at the Washington State Penitentiary.
Mom, you know that one dude from Idaho who killed a nurse, or I don't know, whatever he did? Yeah. I don't know if you know this, but he's a really great guy.
He's coming to Thanksgiving dinner.
He'll be
Online.
via Zoom.
Yeah,
via
via
Zoom.
Zoom, yeah.
Oh man.
Through
Okay.
the plexiglass.
Oh man.
Good luck, Sarah.
I'm so
Hire a goon.
I'm so glad this is over. Okay, so we have a very special guest. All right, and I am super excited about this. I'm going to give you her. I'm going to run down her thing, and this is going to take a while. Okay, ready? Our guest this week is a head chef, an award-winning competitive pitmaster. She's won multiple grand championships and competed in season 4 of Food Network's Barbecue Brawl. She's the author of the book Holiday Grilling, and she's the host of Barbecue Tips Podcast. Please welcome to the show from Girls Can Grill, Christie Vanover.
Welcome.
Hello, everybody. How are
Christy,
you?
Good. How are you?
Oh, Christie, that is a pretty impressive list.
Thank you.
Yeah,
And I'm just getting started.
that's awesome. You know, I was thinking when people introduce me, the only thing they can say is he can tie his shoes on the first try most of the time. That's all I've ever got.
Which shoe? Oh,
Well,
see?
not both. Yeah, not both shoes. Okay.
And Matt wears Velcro.
Oh my gosh. Hold on, Christie. Do you know anyone that has Velcro shoes?
I don't anymore, but back in the day, yeah, for sure. 80s Reeboks, yeah.
Oh, I'm talking about now. Yeah, we have a friend. We have a friend that has Velcro shoes. Our buddy John. Yeah, yeah. I you know what? Now I'm sorry I said that. So I don't know how to edit, but if I do learn how to edit, I'm going to edit that part out so nobody knows that. Let's see. Tell me if this is true before we get started. You served in both the U.S. Army and the U.S. Air Force?
I did not. I worked for both of those as a civilian employee. So my husband served in the Army, and as he traveled through different places, I was able to work as a civilian for the military and the National Park Service.
Oh, awesome. Well, I always got to say this. Thank him first. Thank him for his service.
you.
I appreciate
Both
that.
of them.
But you were a park ranger. Is that correct?
Yes, that is correct.
Oh man! Now I know as a griller, did you use that job just to see all the animals that you wanted to cook? Is that what you were there like to see? Like okay, those things are good. That would not be good. Was that kind of like a secret thing that most people don't have?
No, most national parks, you're not going to be hunting those animals.
Oh no, but you can just tell how delicious things look, right? Like some things, like you say an animal, and you see it maybe in a zoo, but when you see it running around, you're like, that is much better. That would be much tastier.
I've helped somebody grill squirrel, but I actually never tasted that. Can't say I've tried bear. I usually stick to the cows and the alligators and the chickens.
So you haven't eaten a squirrel. What's the strangest thing you've ever eaten?
Alligator's not so strange anymore, but I mean, probably that. Yeah, octopus isn't so strange either. So, you know, a lot of times people are really experimenting. I haven't done any roadkill or anything like that.
Ugh.
Wow.
Even though I lived in the South.
I've seen those videos where they're grilling the gators now on Instagram.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Yeah. Honestly, though, the tail is the best part. That's the only part you really need to grill. But yeah, it definitely is a showpiece for Instagram to grill up that whole animal there.
Oh, wow. That is crazy. Now, I actually we were in Omaha, Nebraska, and my son and I had alligator bites.
Nice.
Omaha.
They're good, aren't they?
Yeah, in Omaha. Yeah. It was
No gators in
Yeah.
Omaha, though.
So it was a diners, drive-ins, and dives thing. So as my son played travel baseball, and everywhere we went, and we were always watching diners, drive-ins, and dives. Any town we went to, we would get online, look up a place, and then we would eat there. And then when we had alligator, we had to try it.
The gator bites.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's good. I like it.
Oh yeah, it's pretty crazy. Okay, about a month ago, we had our buddy Mike Lang on from
I
Another
heard.
Pint, Please.
Yep.
Yeah, and we were talking about grilling turkey and potatoes and kind of standard holiday fare. And since you just came out with a book, brand new book, Holiday Grilling, and I believe it's 111 recipes, holiday recipes.
Yep.
Okay,
That's right.
So how'd you cut? And I laughed at that because I thought, how'd you cut it off at 111? What was 112? What was 112 that didn't make it? That's the one thing I wanted to know.
Maple glazed carrots didn't make it. Only because 111 sounded better than 112. And I just said, okay, I got to stop. I got to get this thing published.
That is awesome. And it is a really neat book. And so one of the things I thought we would do is kind of come up with some kind of more unique things. So instead of turkey and chicken and the standard things that people grill in the holidays, that we would come up with some kind of unique things that kind of more like meat and pig and maybe some other things that kind of is your specialty.
Sure.
Yeah, and I got a chance to watch Barbecue Brawl season 4.
Yeah.
Oh man, that was just really neat. And I had a thought about this. They talk about everybody on that show as slow cooking things, and kind of like because you're in a competitions where you start cooking at like 4:00 in the morning and you serve at like 4 at night. Did you practice doing different things because you had to cook on such a short thing? Did you actually practice and get ready for that?
I did. And the main thing is hoping that you're going to make a lot of episodes and knowing that you're going to have enough variety of dishes for at least 2 challenges per episode. So whether it's a sauce, making sure you can grill any type of protein because, you could be thrown anything. And actually, I do cook hot and fast on the competition circuit. So knowing that our windows would be like 2 hours or less, I was comfortable. Now, I can't do a brisket in 2 hours. I can do it in 5, but not 2. So knowing that we had those short windows, I kind of focused on those types of things when I was practicing.
Oh, man. All right, I need to know, how do you do a brisket in 5 hours?
So it's called hot and fast. You basically separate the point from the flat so that you've got 2 smaller pieces of brisket. But I still start with like a 20 to 22 pound brisket, but I just trim them really tight for competition. And then I'm cooking at 300 to 350 degrees, still over indirect heat. Go for a while until you get your nice bark on it. And then I put it in an aluminum half pan with some beef broth and cover that with foil. So it kind of finishes in a braise kind of scenario, but still at that really high heat. Then I take that foil off, brush it with just a little bit of sauce, nothing too sweet, and then finish it off till it gets probe tender.
Huh. Oh man, that just sounds so.
I have to do that because the last time I smoked a brisket, I'm not exaggerating, man. It was like fucking 13 hours.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a big brisket, but I mean, I didn't know what the hell to do. I was at a loss, and at some point, I'm like, it was like after midnight, and I'm like, Jesus, I don't know what the hell I'm gonna do. And I'm like, I gotta cut this off. I gotta figure something out. So I did what you said. I put it in a pan, which is the way I finish a lot of my stuff. And it got up to temperature and it was fine. But I went back and I'm like, why didn't I think of this sooner? And now that's the way I'm gonna do it from now on. Because what's it normally take you? Like 9 hours?
Yeah, like 9 to 12, depending on, the size. And honestly, if you just do the smoke at the first part and then wrap it, you can finish in the oven.
Yeah.
Because you're not picking up any more smoke at that point.
Right.
So if you feel safer, having it in the oven and going to sleep as opposed to keeping a fire going outside, that's totally fine. One thing of advice, though, I would recommend, if you're going to go hot and fast, you definitely need a higher grade beef. I would not do a choice brisket hot and fast. There's just not enough fat and marbling in there, and it's just going to dry out on you, and it's just going to kind of be leathery. So in competition, when I am cooking hot and fast, I'm using Wagyu brisket. So more expensive, but it has enough fat and marbling in there that it's going to hold up and it's going to do really well at that high temp.
A 22-pound Wagyu.
It's only $5,000.
It's only like $250 to $300.
Okay,
it's like a Bitcoin.
so that leads me to my first thing. If we're cooking, okay. And say, well, I always like to go to the bottom, the people who aren't very good at it, because I'll give you the levels for grilling. Ted knows what a grill is. Okay, I am a decent griller, and Mark is really, really good. So that's I always think of the levels like that as everybody who's listening. If we're looking for an easy a cut of meat to grill for a large amount of people that's just going to be, it's going to be taste good and be easy to cook, what are some of the easiest things to start with?
I mean, a tri-tip is a fun thing if you can get it where you live. It is more available now than it used to be. It used to just be kind of a West Coast cut. That's where it was really became popular and famous. But now it's more available. It's more cut from the loin area. It's a little bit less expensive than like a ribeye or prime rib or something like that. And it's got great flavor, great beefiness. Not super marbled, but if you just cook it to medium rare, it's large enough that you're going to get that like the size of a roast out of it. It's several pounds, and then you can just slice it off like you would like a prime rib. And main thing is just getting some heat on it. You can do reverse sear, actually, is what I like to do. I will let it smoke for a little while, season it up first, but let it smoke for a little while. And then once it gets to about 105 to 110, then I will move it over to the direct heat where the fire is and just get a nice sear and crust on it. And throughout the cook, I like to baste it with red wine vinegar and olive oil mixed with some garlic, and that just adds some flavor and moisture to it as well.
Oh man!
Oh, it does. It sounds. So
and then you
awesome.
can let that rest for like 30 minutes, whatever, right? Because you got that crust on it, and it just continues to cook a little bit, but it's not going to overcook itself.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now, is that something like okay? And not to get too technical, but could I do that the day before and just heat it up in some kind of broth or something? If I'm doing something like if I'm having a lot of people over, could I get some of it done just so if I run into what the problem Mark had where I run out of time? Is that something? Is that still going to be as good, or is it not quite as good?
Yeah, you just have to be careful that like whatever doneness people like their meat. So sometimes people are funny about beef. Some people, if they don't see the pink, they feel like it's overdone. So when you go to reheat it, if you warm it like in a microwave or something, or even in the oven, you're probably going to end up taking, if it's sliced, you're going to end up taking it past medium rare. And for some people, they're like, I only like medium rare. But so that's the only really risk that you take. I would say that it might be best to, if you wanted to do it in advance, go ahead and cook it to your preferred doneness. And then if you have a sous vide, vacuum seal it after it's cooled and then put it in that sous vide to reheat it. And that's going to be a surefire way to keep it at, the temperature that you want. Otherwise, if you were to cook it in advance, slice it, you could definitely put it in broth, but it's going to be more like roast beef that's cooked past medium rare.
Well,
it'll still taste awesome, but
for us, we're amateurs. So a sous vide, if it's already cooked, would be okay. But trying to cook it in that from scratch is like an art form, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's hard.
I realize not everybody has a sous vide. It's funny. Reheating meat can be challenging if you want to keep it at medium rare. So.
Oh wow! See, that's kind of tough. Okay, so now let's say we take it advanced. Say that you're a pretty decent grillist like Mark. You're better at it. What cut of meat would you attempt? Again, if you're cooking for a large group of people, because you're always worried about time.
How large?
Sure. I mean, you could do a couple things. If you want to go the turkey route, if we're talking holidays, I would do one main turkey as like your center presentation piece, and then smoke up a bunch of other turkeys or even turkey breasts. And instead of having like a bunch of pretty birds on the table, just pull that meat. You're gonna smoke it and you're gonna cook it, and then you're gonna actually wrap it in foil and let it rest in a cooler, just like you would like with a brisket. And you're not going to worry about the skin at that point. What you're just trying to do is lock in that moisture and get it finished cooking. And then you'll be able to just shred the meat off the bone. So you'll have a ton of meat to serve a huge crowd. If you want to go a little bit fancier, I think it's really cool to do Cornish hens. So those come in the freezer and they're just the little chickens. But like, let's say you have 20 people, you can get 20 Cornish hens for not too much money. And you could grill those all up at the same time. If you have a big enough grill, and you can serve a half a Cornish hen to somebody or even a whole Cornish hen. And it makes it look like they're getting their own individual turkey, even though it's not turkey, but you get your own individual bird and you just throw them on the grill at like 375 to 400 degrees, indirect heat. And then you just cook them for like about, I don't know, it takes about an hour or so, sometimes a little less.
Oh, I never even thought of that.
My aunt used to bake Cornish hens when we visited her in Florida, and then she used to bake. So we, like you just said, everyone got their own Cornish hen and her twice baked potato, and it was awesome. I mean, it's a great bird in general. It's just so good. But it's really cool to get your own bird. Like 2-3 pound bird, right? I mean, it's just like it's awesome.
That would be really neat. Okay, so I'm guessing that most people are, again, I always assume most people are like me. We don't have a butcher. So here's what I want to do. Okay. I buy my meat at Costco. I buy my meat at the local, grocery store. I know it's going to be a little bit more expensive, but on a scale of 1 to 10, where let's just say that if I buy it at the local grocery store, or I buy it at Costco, it's maybe, the quality of meat is a 3. If I go to a butcher and I pay, I don't know how much more, how much more am I going to spend, and how much better is the meat going to be?
So I would say meat at a butcher can be worse or better. It really comes down to the grade of beef that you're getting. So, I mean, when it comes to pork and chicken, it's all going to be pretty comparable. It's really beef that has the USDA grading scale, where select is like the lowest amount of marbling, the least amount of flavor, and then prime is going to be the highest. And Costco has a prime section, so you can get your prime beef. Like I'll get prime briskets from Costco all the time. They've got all sorts of different cuts there, but they like prime ribeyes, prime filet mignons. Now you are going to pay more for prime because it's more marbled, which means more flavor. But if you go to a butcher, you're going to get that same selection of choice grade beef or choice grade brisket. Now, what you might run into more likely at a butcher when it comes to like pork is you might find different breeds of pork. So more than grading, you're going to find different breeds that taste a little bit different. You might find local raised. You might find grass finished versus grain finished when it comes to beef. So you're going to just find more variety. And probably pay a little bit more because it's a specialty market and they're not as bulk as something like a Costco. But I think you're going to get great flavor from either.
Well, I just have to step in. I'm not sure what Matt said. What did you say about butchers and being in Chicago and grocery stores?
Well, I don't go to a butcher.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you said you don't have a butcher, but I just want to defend the city of Chicago because we have some of the most amazing butchers in the entire fucking world. I mean, Paulina Meat Market is absolutely incredible. Although I'm not knocking you, I'm just saying. I just want to make sure that everybody understands that.
I haven't really eaten meat in
I get
6
that.
years, so I
get that.
Okay, but probably a lot more people go to a butcher than I think, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, and it's okay because I'm kind of dumb. I get that. In fact, I'm going to ask a dumb question right now. I know that you can brine turkeys and chickens. Can you brine beef and pigs? Is that a thing?
You can. I don't. But what I would say is the only time I brine beef or pork, pork chops and stuff I brine because they are more lean. But the only time I brine beef is when I'm going to do corned beef or pastrami. And it's a little bit different formula of a brine, where a turkey brine is going to just be more like salt water, sugar, maybe some aromatics. A pastrami brine is going to have that pink curing salt, number one, in it, along with usually like pickling spice. And so that's going to cure the meat. That's what gives it that pink color. But like I wouldn't use a turkey brine on a beef cut, but I would definitely use a pastrami brine on a beef cut.
But you're more likely to marinate a beef or a pork, right? Because I like marinating like a skirt steak or
for sure, yeah.
Okay, so if I'm marinating something, how is that different from a brine?
So a marinade is usually a flavor that's got like something like soy sauce in it, maybe Italian seasoning. It's got more flavors, whereas a brine is really a saltwater solution that is working with the intermuscular part of the animal, the proteins, to really like draw the moisture so that when you cook it, it's more moist. Whereas a marinade is going to be more of a flavor enhancer as opposed to a moisture creator. Now, I will say though, with some cuts like flank steak or some cuts that are a little bit more lean, it does help add to the moisture, because if you use something that's got enough salt in it, it will kind of help break down the fibers. But marinades are really more for flavor than drawing out the moisture.
All right. Do you have a go-to marinade that you tell people? Like somebody comes up to you and says, "Christy, I've never done this. I need this. Please help me." Do you have a go-to?
I mean, honestly, I have two. For chicken, a bottle of Olive Garden Italian dressing. You cannot go wrong with that.
Dude,
it doesn't even have to be Olive Garden.
That's my thing.
Get that at Costco.
That's my Costco, but you know what? That's my go-to for chicken. But I actually hate the Olive Garden Italian dressing. I really despise it. But I just use Wishbone, either the zesty or the regular.
Yeah.
And Paul Newman's too. Paul Newman's is good too.
Yeah.
For chicken.
That works great for chicken.
It's awesome
for beef, I'm usually doing like soy sauce with red wine vinegar or lime juice and some olive oil, some cumin, some of my brisket rub, things like that. But usually it's more of a soy sauce base.
Oh yeah, I'm looking. You have 3 rubs, and I'm looking at this right now. And this is
Yeah.
pretty cool. On your website, girlscangrill.com. I'm looking at this. You have a brisket rub, a chicken rub, and a pork rub. Man, those look. I mean, that looks amazing. Do you? Is it like absolute necessity if you're cooking meat that you put some sort of rub on it?
I mean, in my opinion, it's necessity to put salt and pepper on it. Maybe salt, pepper, garlic, and then when you're ready to add some different flavor profiles, then go with a rub. You can make your own, or you can just buy mine, and they're already pre-made, and they really match well with the different proteins that I've created them for. I use them on the competition circuit and win multiple awards with them. And then I realized instead of me making the recipes every week for competitions, I was like, I just need to bottle this so it's easy for me to use, and now I make it available for everybody.
Oh, that is awesome. Okay, so and again, this is going to be a silly statement, but is there literally any part of the pig that is not delicious?
I can't say that I've eaten every part of the pig.
Okay, the parts of the pig that we normally eat. Is there if I'm cooking for a large group, is there anything that I couldn't grab? Especially for a holiday thing, to really just, again, change things up, to get away from turkey
Sure.
and get away from, like an actual ham. But the different parts, is there any part of that pig that I wouldn't want to serve?
No, I mean, I think you're going to hit it out of the park with whether it's a ham or, a picnic, or if you go more traditional, you could do chops. You could ask the butcher to do basically the loin rack, or you can do a smoked pork prime rib. So we're all familiar with the prime rib of a cow, like the prime rib roast. You can get the exact same cut from the same area of the pig, which is basically the ribeye type section of a pig, and it's going to have the bones in there, basically the loin chops, and you can have it cut to where you have, 3, 4, 5 bones, and then you would cook it similarly to how you would a beef prime rib roast, but instead it's a pork prime rib roast. And so, and you just cook it a little to about 145 if you want it kind of medium rare-ish, and it's delicious. It's a great alternative. That recipe is in my cookbook.
There's also our go-to in the family if there's like more than 5 or 6 people, if there's 10 or 11 of us usually, is pork tenderloins. Just the whole loin, season it, salt, pepper, maybe, and one of the recipes we use salt and pepper, and any aromatic that you want, and then with a like a type of some sort of jam that you put on top of it, like an apricot jam. We do that, or an apricot spread on top of it. I mean, it literally takes like one loin. We do the rule we do is, I think it's I'm forgetting now. I think it's 7-6-5. So 7 minutes, turn it. 6 minutes, turn it. Turn the heat off.
5 minutes,
5
turn the
minutes
heat off.
on,
Yep.
and then we let it rest for about 10 minutes, and then just slice it up, and it's perfect.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
I've got one for you that is, I think, one of Christie's specialties, the red pepper jelly. With that, I mean, what you got to tell people, this thing sounds amazing. Describe that red pepper jelly, because this sounded like the most amazing thing to put on everything in the whole world.
Yeah, I mean, it's sweet like a jelly, but it's made with red peppers, like red bell peppers. You can also add some heat in there if you want to, but you basically just take red bell peppers and you like blitz them up in a blender, chop them up, and then you just boil them down with lots of sugar, just like you would if you were to make strawberry jam, but instead of strawberries, you're using the peppers, and it just gives a little bit of heat. It's delicious on, just like he was talking about with the pork tenderloins. You could definitely glaze that with the red pepper jelly. It's great on ham. We like to just pour it over goat cheese or pour it over smoked cream cheese and just serve that with crackers, and it makes a great dip.
Yeah, when I saw that, because I'm looking through all the recipes, I'm looking through all the different things, I'm looking through the book, I'm looking through all the recipes, and I'm like, when I saw red pepper jelly, I was thinking, we have so many peppers. Jack makes so many peppers that throwing it in there and that heat and the sweet together is one of my favorite things. That to me is something that just really, really is special. I also saw that you have foil packet recipes. If I'm cooking,
I do, yeah.
If I'm cooking for a group of people, how easy would it be to make some of those up?
Yeah, I mean, super easy. I usually do those for like camping. We like to go camping a lot. We actually do Campsgiving instead of cooking Thanksgiving at home. We usually go camping, and so we'll throw stuff inside of our foil packets and then just throw it right on the coals. You can even just throw it right on the grill if you have a grill too. Um, you're not going to get a gourmet Thanksgiving feast off of there, but it's really fun with leftovers, to reheat them on there. But yeah, I've got paella recipes. I've done pancakes with foil packets before. Hobo stew is one of the favorites that I did when I was a camp counselor, where you just throw some ground meat in there, some potatoes, some vegetables, slice of American cheese on top, maybe a squirt of ketchup, wrap it in foil, throw it on the coals. And once those potatoes are tender and that meat's cooked through, you just open it up and dig it in with your fork.
Oh man! So you know what? The funny thing is, I remember doing. I was a Boy Scout when I was a kid, and I remember doing that. And it must have been the fellas in charge must not have been paying attention, because I always remember it. Nothing was ever cooked. The stuff on the bottom, was burned. Everything else was raw. And we got one of those things where, all right, that's it. That's all we have. And you ate it. And I always thought, when I get older, you know what the one thing I want? I don't want $1 million. I don't want a fast car. I just want food that tastes good. It's every time I did that. How do you keep it from burning on the bottom?
Well, I'm glad you're still alive after eating raw meat. It all has to do with fire management. You can't stick it straight on like flaming hot coals. You've got to get your coals kind of burnt down and just get some warm ash. And then you got to like put it off to the side and get some of that indirect heat where it's just a little smoldering coals on the bottom. Or you can put it on a grill grate over the coals, and so that you're getting that kind of indirect heat. But yes, if you put it straight on the hot coals, you're gonna burn the bottom. Those potatoes are not going to get finished. So it's just a matter of understanding fire management, really.
All right. What is if you're cooking seafood for a group of people? Okay, and you want to make, again, I always think about whenever we're doing this for everybody out there to make it as easy as possible. What's some really easy seafoods, some really easy fish or any kind of seafood that you can make for a large group of people? Make it pretty, kind of. Well, let's just say we'll make it idiot proof.
Yeah. So one of the things we just did this at Thanksgiving, actually, get a big cast iron skillet. If you have a lot of people, like go with a 17-inch cast iron skillet, and then take some, if you're going that big, you're going to have to get like 3 pounds of shrimp. But if you're going smaller, you can like use 1 pound of shrimp and like a 10-inch skillet, and then just layer them in there so they're all pretty like in a circle, and then just load it with butter and squeeze a lemon and lots of fresh garlic, and then just throw that under the broiler in your oven or on your grill, whatever your cooking device is. And then when you pull it off, just sprinkle it with fresh parsley, serve it with more lemon. And there's like hardly any cooking involved, but it's pretty because it's in a big cast iron skillet, and it's just fanned out really beautifully. And who doesn't love shrimp? I mean, I guess there's some people out there who don't, but I mean, the majority of people, if you're serving them shrimp, they're going to be happy with that kind of appetizer. And I've got a cocktail sauce recipe in my cookbook too that goes really well with that.
I saw that.
I'll tell you what's good with shrimp too is with the butter, what you're describing, you could take any one of your rubs and just sprinkle the hell out of the top of it when it's done. Yes. And it just kicks it up a notch. And it doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be seafood, anything. It's just got that salty, savory. Yeah, we do that.
Yeah, especially like a Creole. I love a good Creole rub on shrimp. You could even go with Old Bay, or my pork rub really gives it a nice kind of a sweet finish if you want something that's more like a sweet caramelized finish. If you want to do some other options with fish, if you're worried about drying it out, well, first of all, if you want to do fish on the grill and it sticks to the grill and you can't flip it and you get frustrated with that, go ahead and slice up some citrus just into some thin slices and lay those on the grill, and then place your fish on top and then cook your fish. You don't ever have to flip it. It's just going to kind of like bake with the indirect heat. And then you just take a spatula and lift the whole thing off the grill. And then it's sitting there on that pretty grilled citrus. And then people will eat the citrus if they want to, but your fish is going to be beautiful, and you're not going to flip it and like have it all stick and fall apart.
Genius.
I always cheated when I was younger with fish. I love salmon, so I would just take a big fillet of salmon, put it in a tinfoil pan, season the hell out of it in there, put lemon, put some olive oil, and then just seal it completely with tinfoil and put on the grill for like 10 minutes, and then take it off and let it sit for like 15 or 20 minutes, and it was just cooked perfectly. And it does. It's foolproof. It really is.
Yeah.
You almost can't overcook it. If you could take it off early and just let it sit in that.
Yeah. No, I like the concept of the citrus, because you could actually have a slice of orange, a slice of lemon, a slice of lime. You could have different flavors in that whole thing, and each bite would be just a little bit different. Oh man! So okay, Christy, I'm telling you right now, I used when Mike came on. I made the best turkey I've ever made with some of his ideas. I am going to use this. This is going to be absolutely amazing. Oh, man, I'm so excited about this. Okay.
And you could even do different fish. So, like if you were serving salmon and you were serving sea bass or halibut or something, you could do different citrus under the different ones and look for contrasting colors. So, salmon, you're going to want to maybe use the lemons or limes so that you get that contrasting color. And then with your white fish, then you would maybe use the orange slices. You could even go with grapefruit slices if you want to, just so you get a little bit of variety.
Oh, I didn't even. That's amazing. I did not even think of that. Okay, let's talk vegetables. Everybody, the standard thing everybody has: sweet potatoes, green beans. What are some veggies that are kind of unique, kind of different that we could have that kind of pair better with beef or pork or even seafood?
I say don't be afraid of beets. Beets are so good.
Oh, I love
Like
beets.
I love a good roasted beet, and you could do it one of two ways. You could either peel it and cut it, and then roast it and throw it in a pan, mix with some potatoes and carrots and other root veg. But an even easier way is to just cover it with some olive oil, salt, pepper. Just throw it right on your grill grates and cook it. It'll probably take you 45 minutes to an hour. But when it's probe tender or fork tender, usually about 205 degrees, then you can take it off and then peel off the peel with just your hands. I usually wear gloves because it'll stain your hands purple. But just peel off and then just slice it. People, when they think of beets, they think of like the beets you get on a salad bar, which are often like those ones out of a jar or out of a can. But when you have the fresh grilled roasted beets, they are just so sweet and delicious and really hearty. They go great with a goat cheese spread, cream cheese, or just even more olive oil or a little balsamic vinegar. They're super yummy.
And it's a superfood.
Yes. And they come in yellow too. They're not just, and you can get like white with like pink stars in them. Like they can be really colorful and pretty.
Do the yellow ones make you pee red too, like you're pissing blood or not? Oh yeah, you ever do that?
I don't recall if they have the asparagus effect. I don't think they do.
No, not. I'm sorry, not pissing the other way around though. No, it does. I mean, seriously, if you eat enough beets, it changes. Yeah.
Well, so there's a limit to the beets.
Well, I mean,
just be mindful.
Yeah, definitely
I
be
had
mindful.
beets last night.
Yeah, no, you have to remind yourself. Oh my God, what happened? What's happening?
You don't have to see a
never
doctor.
mind.
You don't have to see a doctor.
Don't call 911. I ate beets.
Because you know how they sell.
Right.
You know now they sell those little packages of the beet balls that are marinated in all different marinades. I could eat like 3 of those in one sitting. Like 3 of those packages.
Wait, you're saying beet balls?
Beets, yeah, they're kind of like you've seen them before, right, in a store, Christy? Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
I've never. See. I honestly don't pay enough attention to the world around me.
Yeah, they're good. They're usually marinated like in a vinegary. Like there's a balsamic one. There's one that's more sweeter. There's all different. There's a chili balsamic one, and it's just beets that are just like made into little balls, and it's just sitting in the marinade, and you just eat them from the fridge.
Okay.
Yeah.
I will
Absolutely delicious.
I will take your word for it. Okay. So especially if we're making pork, how hard is it to make homemade baked beans?
Well, I make semi-homemade baked beans. So I still buy a can of baked beans and then I doctor it up. Like occasionally, like if I'm doing bean soup, I'll go from dry beans and I'll let them, or sometimes refried beans, I'll go from dry beans and do the whole process of soaking them overnight or doing a parboil on them. But when I'm making baked beans, I still buy a can of Bush's baked beans and then I'll add like ground up Italian sausage or ground beef, onions, bell peppers, sauteing all that stuff. And then I add more stuff like mustard and maple syrup and maybe a little barbecue sauce or ketchup. But I'm not cooking the beans from dry to soft. That's just a lot of work.
It's not necessary either at all. Like the way you're talking about is just the way to go, man.
Okay, no,
Yeah.
that's why I'm asking. It seemed like every time I see that, it's an insane amount of work
crazy, yeah.
for such a small payoff. When I know that there's cans of things that you can do that to, I kind of like that. All right, so Christy, this is important. When people say the word kale to you, how hard do you hit them, and do you kick them immediately afterwards?
No, kale is delicious.
Matt hates kale.
If it's prepared properly. Like I love a raw kale salad.
Yeah, I do too.
Chop it up really like finely, and then mix that with like a vinaigrette because it's good like a coleslaw in that it's gonna taste better the longer it sits in that dressing, just like shredded cabbage would, as opposed to like a salad that you toss, it's just gonna get soggy and wilty. But kale holds up really well, and you can do different nuts with it, like roasted hazelnuts and like sliced mango, some craisins if it's the holidays. Yeah, I think kale salads are delicious. Goat cheese. Sorry to disappoint you.
Oh, no. I'm just. It's good that you said all that because I was trying to think of what would actually make kale taste good. And I guess maybe other things that taste good, and then I could always just kind of slide the kale, like when you were a kid, and you got like Veg-All or something horrible that your mom made, and you just kind of pushed the things you didn't like away.
What was the thing on the infomercial back?
I mean, let's be honest. Any salad, it's really mostly not the lettuce that makes the salad taste great. It's the dressing and the cheese and the bacon and the hard-boiled eggs and the beets and the other things that you add to it.
La Machine, it would chop everything up really fine. It was like a scene on TV. I think I remember it's like from the 90s. La Machine, am I there? Yeah, just chop it up real fine. You can't
I have something just like
and then Irish it up.
Yeah, Irish it up. Okay, so before we get to desserts, I got to ask you, when you're trying new things, and this is for all the people who are going to try something, are you, if it kind of goes off the rails a little bit, are you a start over person, or are you just try to make it whatever is happening, you're just going to kind of add stuff to it to kind of make it, what you want?
Yeah, it really depends on what my end goal is. If it's just dinner, I'll just doctor it up and we'll just make it work and eat it. If it's a recipe that I'm trying to create for my website or for a cookbook, then I may start from scratch. I may make some adaptations. And sometimes I may say, you know what, that was a funny idea. Not at all. Let's not do that again. It just depends.
Okay. All right. Because I was thinking a lot. This is so funny. This is the thing that turned me off of honey mustard sauce. Way back, I think my wife and I were married for a few months. We made a giant chicken thing, and we made this honey mustard sauce. And to this day, I would stab the first person that offered me anything honey mustard because it was so horrible. We ended up, and this is what 25 years ago. We threw away about $4 worth of chicken, and it was like the most horrific thing ever because it was inedible, and it made me hate honey mustard sauce.
Wow. Yeah. I love honey mustard sauce with sweet potato fries. That's what I usually eat them with.
I like it. See, I brought Matt I made honey mustard sauce from scratch when I smoked my wings, and my wings are hot because I use ghost pepper powder in my dry rub. So I dehydrate a lot of peppers and I use it in my dry rubs. So they got a kick to it. So I make a homemade honey mustard sauce to go with the wings, and I also there's a little smoked paprika in there too. And
nice.
The honey mustard sauce is awesome. It goes perfect with the smoked wings. I brought it over 2 years ago, and Matt's like, I'm like, dude, you got to try it with the honey mustard sauce. It just totally takes it up a notch. No way. He had nothing to do with it.
No, I can't even smell it.
I had to tell you. I go, it's mayo, honey,
yeah, I
and
understand
apple cider vinegar, and I mean, salt
and I love all those things individually, and I love some of them put together. All of them put together are like a nightmare. Yeah, it's an absolute nightmare. All right, so let's talk a little dessert. Okay.
Okay.
We're on the grill. Everybody's kind of finished, and we're kind of taking a rest because there's nothing says holiday more than eating as much as you possibly can, then waiting like an hour or an hour and a half, and then eating as much as you possibly can again, but of sweets.
Yep.
And I know, like, especially for pork, I mean, it's like peaches and apples are that thing. But what's a go-to dessert that's kind of easy for everybody to make that once I'm done eating, I can have it ready, throw it on the grill, and make it quick and make it good?
I mean, a lot of times I will bake my pies on the grill, and you just make them the same way that you do any pie. Like my pumpkin pie, you can just follow the recipe on the can, but instead of using the evaporated milk, use eggnog, and it's going to just elevate that flavor a little bit more, make it more rich. It's so much better than evaporated milk. Try it. I promise you'll love it. And you can bake it in an oven or on a grill. If you do it on the grill, as I explained in my cookbook, it just has to be indirect heat. And I usually actually put a pan on the grill grate and then put the pie on top. So there's more distance away from the heat so you don't burn the bottom. But I'll usually cook my pies in advance so that I'm not cooking at dessert time, or, we're trying to eat and everything. Cakes are always easy. All the cakes in my cookbook, I actually start with box cake mix. It, again, goes back to semi-homemade. I use box cake mix. I use a package of instant pudding, and I mix that with the eggs and the oil and stuff, and that makes it even more moist. I have a carrot cake recipe in there and a chocolate cake recipe. I also love doing cookies and snacks. Popcorn balls are a big favorite in our family. You make them like Rice Krispie treats, like you melt down the butter, brown sugar, and marshmallows. And then instead of adding Rice Krispies, you just throw in your popped popcorn. Make sure you take all the unpopped kernels out, though, because those hurt. And then just throw in some craisins and some pistachios to give it that red and green color. And then you just roll them up in balls instead of like putting Rice Krispie treats. You just roll them up in balls, and those are really easy to make. You can get the kids to help you with that. And they're just fun it's always fun to just have sweets kind of laying around the house during the holidays.
And anytime we want, if we're doing it on the grill, because we're all doing it over indirect heat, we can throw, you can throw some wood chips on there to get that smoky flavor in there too, right?
For sure, yes. So my smoked sabayon recipe, which is a little bit more advanced, but that one, you're going to smoke up some whiskey. So you're going to have either the wood chips or a wood chunk or, whatever, or even a pellet grill. And you're just going to get some smoke on that whiskey. And then you're going to just beat some egg yolks until you're creating this nice, like, custard consistency. And then you mix in that smoked whiskey and pour it over some fresh berries. And it's really an elevated, especially kind of boozy forward, just for the grown-ups. That's a hit, and it's really colorful and pretty too.
Or to get the kids to go to sleep.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. I mean, we're I always want options.
Oh, I thought that was crushed Xanax and orange juice. Oh, no, I'm sorry, my mistake.
Jesus,
different. That's for going to the casino. My mistake. Yeah.
And Christy, you can see why we don't let Ted ever. Ted goes out to eat. We'd never let him actually make anything that we would eat, because there's always that chance you're going to get quite a bit of crushed Xanax and whatever alcohol he has.
Or popcorn kernels. Something like that. Yeah.
That seems absolutely terrifying. All right.
Well, he can just have the smoked whiskey. Forget the custard.
There you go.
That would okay. So let me ask you this: you've obviously drank smoked whiskey. Is it? I just thought of this right now. Is it insane? Is it awesome?
It's delicious if you do it right with the right smoke. When smoking anything, make sure that you're running clean smoke. And what I mean by that is if you're just adding your wood chunks on, or you're just lighting your charcoal, if you're seeing like white thick smoke, that's going to taste bitter. So you've got to let that run kind of clean. We call it clean smoke or blue smoke. Excuse me. And then once you hit that, then it's going to add the right flavors.
Oh my God, that sounds so awesome. Okay. And then the last thing, and I thought this was really cool, is one of the things you talked about with leftovers is hand pies. And that is, that was amazing to me. Okay. She's, you know what? Right now she's, this is awesome. This is awesome. She's probably thinking about, Christy is probably thinking about kale right now. Okay. But this was the neatest thing ever. It was for leftovers. It was hand pies. So how does that work? Because that sounded like if you had leftovers from any holiday stuff, that making hand pies would be the coolest thing ever.
Yeah, absolutely. Sorry, I'm coughing. I'm fighting a cold here. Yes, you just take pre-made pie crust, cut it into squares or circles, and then pile in your leftovers, whether it's smoked turkey, brisket, roast beef, whatever, some mashed potato stuffing, add another layer of pastry on top, close it off with a fork, brush it with egg wash, and just throw it in the oven or on your smoker, and they're like Pop-Tarts with meat inside.
Dude, that sounds delicious. That's another use for pie crust. You can just buy the rolls, right? The Pillsbury roll, and that's a great idea.
Yeah, and when you say the word Pop-Tart, I mean, if you don't have a positive feeling if somewhere in your life you don't have a super positive feeling about the word Pop-Tart, if that doesn't make you feel good, then you probably had a very, very rough life. And it probably made you're probably a very unhappy adult. Yeah, that's crazy. Oh, I love every second of that. Okay, Christy, we won't keep you anymore because I know you're probably not feeling well, so we'll make sure that you're okay. Let's do this. If you are looking for a great holiday gift, okay, I cannot stress enough, holiday grilling, 111 recipes to celebrate the season. You can get it on Amazon. You can go to Girls Grill. Hold on a second. Let me make sure I get this right. Girlscangrill.com. There's a link right there to Amazon.com to get this thing. It is fantastic. Christy has some awesome rubs, especially if you're thinking about I'm not good at this. I'm just getting started. Like maybe you're Ted, okay, and you've never cooked before. These are like locked in go-to things that you can use for anything. And check it out. And Christy, thank you so much for being on. You are awesome.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
I can't wait to hear how you like your kale and beet salad
No, beets I'm going to try.
with honey mustard sauce.
Yes, exactly.
Oh, you are just listing. Listen, I'm going to try beets. Don't make me not like beets.
Okay.
Don't make me like
You're
beets.
gonna like the beets.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much, and have a
Thank
great
you.
holiday. And we're going to try
You
some
too.
stuff, and I will let everybody know how we did it because I'm super excited to try some of these things.
Awesome. Thank you guys for having me on.
All right.
Take care. Happy
Take
holidays.
care.
Happy
Thanks.
holidays.
Oh man, I tell you what, this is one of my favorite things.
Yeah,
is
that
that
was
people
very informative.
are so. I mean, she's got so many great ideas that you don't think of.
Yeah, the funny thing is, like I said, you guys are obviously advanced, griller chefs, and like I said, you guys have been doing this for years, and you're pretty innovative. And like someone like an expert comes on and just it's the same, the things that we use every day, but she just uses them in a different way and creates,
Yeah,
really good food.
You're right. Because I never thought about doing the beets on the grill like I would like a potato or a sweet potato. You could do the beets the same way.
I'm doing it.
Yeah, I mean, I love beets, man.
And I got to try, and I love because here Thanksgiving we did not have pumpkin pie.
That's okay.
Well, I think somebody brought it. I think my sister might have brought it. But we just didn't take it out. And now I'm thinking, how about if you just heated that pumpkin pie up, right, with just on the grill with just a little bit of smoke.
Yeah, indirectly, of course.
Yeah, indirectly.
Yeah.
Just heat it up, but with a little bit of smoke, and just added that flavor. Or if you even made it, you could do this. I mean, making a pie or something like that, you can make, days, weeks ahead of time.
Yeah.
Make the whole thing on there and just add that little bit of smoke, add that little bit. I think that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
So Christmas dinner for you guys, Cornish hens for each person, so they feel like they're getting their own separate meal that nobody else knows about, and White Castle stuffing.
Which is just chopped up White Castle.
Minus the pickles.
No, it's not. It's more. Look at the recipe. I mean,
what's in it?
Instead of using breadcrumbs, you substitute it with the sliders. So you're making the stuffing the way you normally would, with you're grilling the onions and aromatics, and then you add the sliders to it.
And then instead of bread, it's
yeah.
White Castles.
Yeah, you substitute the breading, the breadcrumbs essentially for chopped up White Castles. It's delicious. I mean, don't knock it till you try it. It's not hard to make either.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that it's just chopped up White Castles.
I know, but
minus the
it's
pickles.
so weird. It's no pickles. Yeah.
Ted is really he's intent on that.
No,
So
that's for sure.
So this is hilarious, and I didn't bring it up, but when I'm looking through Christie's bio and we're her kind of history of how she starts and everything, the one book that every single person who grills has ever mentioned. What do you think? You know what it is?
Yeah, the Weber Big Grill.
The Stephen Reichland. Yeah, the Stephen Reichland Barbecue Bible.
It's like the Bible.
Oh, that one.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah. Okay.
yeah,
I was thinking a different one.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to get here, this is the thing. If you know somebody who's really into barbecuing or really into grilling,
I have to look at what that looks like.
there's basically three books. The Weber Big Book of Grilling.
Yeah, that one.
Stephen Reichland's book, and then grab Christie's book, Holiday Grilling. I mean, it's 100.
It's all you need. Yeah, I mean, you get everything.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, that would be the trio. if there's somebody that really is into that and they want to get started, that's a great trio right there.
Yeah, because I'm sure those 3 books will last you a lifetime worth of grilling just with the variations of the
Ted,
foods.
they,
Yeah, you
they
wouldn't
literally
need 3 other books.
I have those the 2 books. I ordered Christie's book. It should be here in a couple of days. But I take those 2 books I've had for the Weber book and the Stephen Reichland's book I've had for 20 years. 20, maybe more than that, probably 30 years.
Yeah, I've had the Weber grill for over
Yeah.
since like 97, 96, 97 or 98.
Yeah, and that seems
whenever
like it's
it
the
came out, it came out
motivating
like that.
book for like everybody who's. And I've talked, I've looked into a lot of different people, and Mike and Christie are the 2 people that kind of stood out to me. So that's what it is. But even when you look at everybody's concept, it's that thing, right? It's
So that Weber book sounds like it's been out for decades, but has it been like upgraded? Like have
Yeah.
new versions?
I'm sure it has.
No, they
New
have,
versions
like,
of
and you
Cologne?
can, and you can get
A
whatever
bunch more.
version you want.
Yeah.
But there's so much to these things. And then if you go to girlscangrill.com, the recipes here. One of the things that I didn't get a chance to talk to her about was smoked bear cheese brat balls.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah, so she has a recipe in there to make smoked beer cheese, which, I mean, anything you put in there. So she takes the brats, she cuts them out, makes little like tiny little meatballs out of it.
Yeah.
But the concept of the smoked beer cheese, it was life changing. I mean, honestly, it was something that, and again, you can make it ahead of time, put it in the fridge, pull it out, warm it up. You can dip anything you want into it. She was talking about like bread, taco chips, I mean, anything. And it's absolutely, it sounds absolutely amazing. So there's so many things you can do with what she has.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes you want to try new things. And it seems pretty easy.
Yeah, see, that's my question. So let's say someone like me who has no cooking experience at all, could I buy one of those books or go to say her YouTube channel and literally just find kind of like the Cooking Christmas Dinner for Idiots, and then just follow exactly what they do, the template exactly, step by step? I would think it would turn out okay, right? If I just did exactly,
follow the directions.
Yeah,
you can't
follow
go wrong.
directions exactly.
Well, you can. You absolutely can. But
you can mess it up. You can make a mistake, but if you follow the directions as best as possible,
but like
the
she
chances
said,
are,
like for the cakes, she uses pre-made cake mix and just
sure.
add a little bit more.
Yeah, you don't want to reinvent
for,
the wheel.
For the baked beans, she's not starting it from scratch. She's taking that and adding to it. That's Ted, and I'm not trying to be mean, but that's something even you can do.
Oh, that's amazing.
Is that? Wait, hold on. Was that mean? Mark, was that mean?
No, that was just passive aggressive. It's different. There's a difference.
Okay, and listen, if and I don't think the hand pies thing was in her grilling cookbook, but it's on her website.
Yeah.
You have to listen to me. I'm telling you, it seemed like the greatest thing for holiday leftovers that you can make. So let's say you have people over, like what we're doing. We're all, my family, Jackie's family, we're all going someplace for Christmas, and we're going to be there for like 4 or 5 days.
And that's where you're going to have your holiday,
Yeah,
Christmas
that's where we're
dinner?
going to do our Christmas. We're going to do our Christmas in Wisconsin.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask. So are you collectively cooking Christmas dinner, or has that fallen on
There's,
one person?
No. Everybody, every so it's Cheryl and I and Steve and Jackie, and then the boys have girlfriends, and Savannah's married and everything. So and Shane is doing stuff. So everybody's kind of throwing things out there.
I
They
see.
get a different night.
Yeah,
right.
I see.
But you're going to have leftovers.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And what a great bring some pre-made pie crust.
Yeah.
Take that stuff, put it in there, and the next afternoon, because it's basically 4 days of drinking.
Oh, okay.
So
So maybe why don't you just say so? Okay, that simplifies it. Okay. So
I know listen. It sounds better than it is.
how much water can you drink in 4 days?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You need 8 glasses a day, so you don't have to drink literally all
You
day.
don't need 8 glasses of
I
water
know.
a day.
It's a myth.
7 is fine. No, but it's one of those things where just take that stuff from the night before, right? Throw it in there. And see if it tastes good. And after a while, after you're drinking long enough, everything tastes good.
Right. But now that we've had all these cooking experts and grilling experts on the show this year, are you going to do something personally different that you haven't done before?
Well,
based on the new information you have.
Well, I made that smoked turkey, Mike's recipe.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah. So I think there's a couple of things that I would like to try. From what Christie has that I think would be really, really good. I really do. Yeah, I mean the book, awesome. Absolutely awesome. So as soon as I get a hold of that thing, I'm gonna wipe it out and just try something crazy and something different. I gotta do something. I mean, I gotta do something different. She when Christy was on the barbecue brawl thing, she talked about how she's big on making cookies on the grill.
Brave New World.
Could you imagine a smoked chocolate chip cookie? No, seriously.
Yeah, no, it'd be good.
Yeah.
I mean
that sweet, smoky.
right?
They got the sweet chocolate chip, and then, yeah.
So, Mark, are you going to do anything different for Christmas dinner this year based on this
No, we're actually
information
doing.
you have?
No.
Okay. Or you go to Taco Bell this year again?
No,
as
we
usual?
we do a really big, extravagant dinner up in Minnesota, but we do typically we roast a tenderloin, beef tenderloin, a couple of big beef tenderloins with a bunch of different sides that everyone's in charge of. So, and this year is going to be interesting because there's going to be 16 of us, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, 16. So yeah,
And in Minnesota, you're going to be, right? So,
yeah,
okay.
yeah. We do a big
Nice.
formal kind
Awesome.
of fun dinner.
Okay.
Yeah. See, and that's the thing. It's a nice thing. Like grill it up, try something different. If it works, great. If it doesn't, what's the big deal? There's always when you have a holiday party, there's always 3 times more food than you could ever possibly eat. Yeah.
And or do like Domino's, just order an emergency pizza. You saw there's no commercials with Domino's. The person's got cooking all the food in the oven. All the food sets on fire. Now they have an emergency pizza. They press the app, and then like the pizza delivery person comes up through the drawer and hands them a pizza. That's like break glass in case of emergency.
You know what would scare
They
me?
are funny commercials.
No, you know what would scare me about that? If you ordered a pizza on Christmas Day, how much spit would come on that pizza? Because that guy's that person has to work on Christmas Day. Yeah. I just feel like you'd be getting. I feel like that's like a no go on there.
Well, I mean, it's like the fecal level in the lake. There's going to be an acceptable level of fecal level in the lake. There's going to be an acceptable amount of bodily fluid on your pizza. But the good news is it'll probably be baked into the double cheese crust, so you'll be okay. So you won't notice it.
Well, not everybody celebrates the holidays.
No, that's true.
But I think most people do. But it's funny because I was at the dentist today, and the hygienist, she asked me, she's like, so do you have plans for the holidays or don't you celebrate? Like immediately, like that fast. She asked me the question, and then the follow-up was, or do you not celebrate?
Like it's,
And then I was like, why would I don't understand?
That's when you say, my first wife died on Christmas Day. How dare you?
No.
Isn't it strange the way people ask questions and then they follow it up with like an assumption?
Well, she caught herself because she can't assume.
She probably caught. So I told you guys last night I was working the Chicago Bears. They had their Christmas party, their holiday party.
Oh, they're having their. I thought it was a wake.
Yeah, that's what I called it. I called it the Chicago Bears funeral. But they had their holiday party, right? So as people are coming in, I'm working the coat room, right? So I'm the first level, right?
Yeah.
And they come in, hey, have a great night, blah blah blah. And then at the end of the night, I'm like, happy holidays. And then people went out of their way. You mean Merry Christmas? I go, yep, that's what I meant. Merry Christmas. That's what I meant.
And by the way, the end zone's over there. You might want to get there. You might want to visit it sometime. It's pretty cool.
I was very cool about that. Actually, met Caleb Williams.
Yeah.
Is
he a big guy?
You know what? First of all, number one, he's a beautiful man.
Oh yeah, he's very beautiful looking. Yes.
But I just literally just waved to him and walked away. But he was at that party, and every kid that wanted a picture, right? And they
when you say kids, like are the kids
young, the people that work at for the Chicago Bears,
okay.
Their children were there. But
like the staff.
He shook every hand. Yeah. Talked to every young kid, teenage kid. Took selfies with the older kids. And Roma Dunze.
Yeah.
Absolutely, the two of them were like thick as thieves. They were they walked everywhere together. Okay,
partners in crime. There you go.
Yeah, but so nice to every person that walked up to him, especially every single kid that walked up to him. And I heard kids because they're standing right there, right, for a good long amount of time.
Yeah.
Oh, I play football. Oh yeah, I'm a quarterback. Oh, that's great. I mean, they were just so.
Yeah, it's cool.
Fantastically nice.
Yeah,
and I'm thinking,
it's good.
He has to, number one, he's a number one pick, right?
Yeah.
He has to do that, but he seemed very gracious the entire time.
I mean,
I was really impressed.
Face of the franchise. He's already set a lot of records. I hope he has a great career,
So do I. With whatever coach, GM, whatever group of people
all
that
of them
wreck his life.
Everyone he gets every 3 years, I hope he excels.
Yeah, exactly.
The next 9, hopefully he's here for the next, 10, 12 years. He'll have 5 coaches.
Wasn't Jay Cutler here for like 8? Did he have an 8-year career here when we got? I mean,
the worst human being of all time was the longest quarterback.
No, but the funny thing is, didn't we get him from Denver? So we did get remember you said never get the quarterback from the other team because something's
Ted.
wrong, but we did get him, and he did have a decent career here, even though he was pouty McPouty most of the time.
Ted, if a professional football franchise wants to trade their professional starting football quarterback,
Get him
don't
immediately.
do it.
Oh, okay.
Don't do it because no one here. I want you to imagine a starting quarterback is like all the gold in the world wrapped around all the hottest women in the world, wrapped around the greatest drugs in the world. Yeah. All that is what that is, and no one would ever give that up. No one.
Well, somebody forgot to tell the Browns GM that they didn't get the memo when they got Deshaun Watson. So, but hey, that's another story. So, because we don't talk about sports here. So,
Yeah, that's why I hate sports so much. But I will tell you one of the greatest things, and this will be my last thought. Saturday night, I was at the Oregon Penn State game because I'm an Oregon Duck fan. Except for the White Sox winning the World Series, I think that was one of the greatest sports moments I ever lived. Jack and I were there.
Conference championship, really?
But it was only the third game I've ever been to. It was only the third Oregon Ducks game I've ever been to. And just so Jack and I had gone to the first 6 Big Ten championship games.
You went to 2 this year.
Well, we went to the first 6 Big Ten championship
No,
games.
what I'm saying
Oh,
is-
yeah, 2 games this year.
Yeah.
Right. So we went to those, and it was him and I, and we started going when he was about 11. Okay, and it was a thing him and I did. We spent the night. We went to the game. We ate. We did all this fun stuff, and then we missed the next 7 because he was in college. Okay, so I mean, and I
7 years of college down the drain.
right down.
I thought you were going to say
Mr.
seventh. I
Brutarski.
thought you were going to say seventh son of a seventh son.
But yeah, so we didn't go. So going back after going to the first
Yeah,
6,
it's cool.
I will tell you right now, as excited as I was that the Ducks won. Just being there with Jack and driving down there.
Yeah, the whole process. It's a
and
process.
Having
It's a
dinner.
process, yeah.
And just being at the game. And it was just so fantastic.
Did you go anywhere special for dinner?
Yeah, we went to the tamale place. So it's a
Oh,
diners,
that place, yeah,
Diners,
okay.
Drive-Ins, and Dives. And Guy Fieri, it's tamales. And we got, I don't know, like 6, 7 different kinds of tamales.
Nice.
And we got a tortas. I mean, we split everything. It's great. If you listen, don't ever in your life pass up the chance to bond with your kids and do that fun stuff, because I will tell you right now, not just winning that game and going to the game, but just spending that time again, it is just so magical. Because Jack even asked me, and this is the funniest thing. He asked me, he goes, why did we go to that first game? Why did we go to the first Big Ten championship game, you and I, when I was like 11? I said, I don't know, man. I just thought it was something fun that we could do. And then if we liked it, we could just keep doing it, and that could be our thing.
Yeah.
And it's I'm telling you, man, it's
No, it's great because, like I said, it's not really about the game. It's about the process and the whole
Right.
bonding thing. It's not, the game's just, whether Oregon would have won or lost, you still would have had a great time.
you know what? Yeah, I mean, was it like 2%, 10% better because Oregon won? Yeah.
And I heard you had a golf ball somewhere close to something that meant something, but you didn't get anything for it. I heard that too.
Oh yeah. I'm just going to say that before the game, they have a whole event, right? Where you kick field goals and throw footballs and hit golf balls in a simulator. And yes, I'm not going to brag, but I am going to brag. When I walked up, I hit my ball. About 2 hours left. 2 hours had gone through. It's about a 4-hour event. I got there about 6 o'clock, about 5 o'clock. Hit my golf ball to about 6 feet from the pin. We walked away. We finished up. As we walked out, my name was still in the top.
Wow.
Yes, my name was still in the top. I was still number 1.
Nice.
So there's a guy hitting, and I go, hey, I go, stop for just a second. He goes, okay. I go, here, you see that name on the top there, the guy who's closest? He goes, yeah, that's a good shot. I go, well, that's me. Good luck. And I walked away.
Nice.
It was a blast.
Daddy, who was that jerk?
Come on, man. How
If
often
we're
do you-
lucky, we'll never know,
He goes,
son.
Mr. Scheffler, you can go hit the ball now.
Thank you very much. Okay, that's my last thought. I got nothing more. Teddy, last thought.
Your final thought, I think, covered my final thought too. I can't top that, so I'm
Yeah,
just gonna
me
leave
too.
it at
I'm
that.
the same thing as you.
I just
Yeah.
can't.
I agree 100%.
Yeah, I can't do better than
Ditto.
that. So let's just leave that.
Ditto.
Let's savor that like a fine wine. So.
I'm just going to finish up with eat my ass. Okay.
Oh, okay. Now you just ruined it, but okay.
All right. I hope everybody. I hope everybody had a great a great look into what you're doing. I'm going to do this one more time.
What?
Hold on. If you enjoy the episode, if you learned something today, please consider following the show, subscribing to your favorite podcast platform, or leaving a 5-star review. This helps the podcast more than I can say. This allows us to reach more and more people and would mean the world to us. We love doing this. Thank you so much to Christie. And as I say every single time, unless we all get hit by a bus.
Or win the Mega Millions tonight.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. If we win the Mega Millions, screw everybody. If we don't, we'll see everybody next week.